Samo čekamo signal. Da. Samo ovako. Okay, we got all of the approvals. Now we can start. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this exciting future-forward session, DigiPath to Europe, Rerouting Youth Cooperation for Smarter EU Integration. I'm Uroš Bulatović and I have the pleasure of guiding today's discussion. As you see, my hair is a little bit wet because my time management is not a skill that is very well developed. But I think we will make it in these 2 hours to do everything that we wanted to do and to include you as much as possible. We are here not just to talk about the future of Europe, but to explore how young people like you can actively shape it. This is your space to ask questions, share ideas, and connect with leaders who have walked this path like you just at the beginning. Our panel today brings together an extraordinary mix of voices from academia, business, digital transformation, and youth activism. Let me introduce them to you. Today with us we have Professor Elena Tylovska-Kečegi, Associate Professor and Vice Dean for International Cooperation and Science at the Faculty of Law. She bridges law, technology, and international cooperation, helping shape policies and opportunities for youth in the Balkans and across the Europe. Elena, she's joining us online. Please, welcome.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to congratulate the organizers for this amazing and very successful, I would say, event. And also thank all of you for the invitation to be able to participate. It is a great honor to speak in front of such young and future leaders in our society. As you already mentioned, I would like to speak about the digital path towards Europe of our Western Balkan countries and how our young people, generations can drive us through that road. As we know and as we are aware, digitalization has emerged as a transformative force. It is shaping the politics, the economies, industries, businesses, and it is in a way shaping our everyday life. The adoption of the digital tools has had profound effect of innovations within institutions, within organizations, and within even the government strategies, which are affecting their ruling, their governing, the processes, and the services they provide. Therefore, digitalization involves the use of technologies such as big data, cloud, artificial intelligence. I'm sure you already heard of these tools in order to enhance efficiency, decision-making, and competitiveness. But despite the potential benefits that we all know of, there are also challenges, which include high initial security and privacy concerns. How does the EU perceive digitalization and what it is aimed? Well, in 2021, the EU presented a strategy entitled 2030 Digital Compass, which is the European way for the digital decade, where it laid out its vision for 2030 to empower citizens and businesses through digital transformation. The Union's path to the digital transformation is to encompass digital sovereignty, openly, respect for human rights, the rule of law, democracy, inclusion, accessibility, equality, sustainability, resilience, also security, improving the quality of life, the availability of services, and respect for citizens' rights and aspirations. So the digital transformation it's not possible without strong support of science, research, development, and the scientific community, which are the driving forces of the technological and digital revolution. The Union's international action must be structured in line with the pillars of the digital decade. The need for such structuring is also reflected in the joint communication from the Commission and the High Representative of the Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, which is entitled The Global Gateway, through which the Union intends to contribute to narrowing the global investment gaps that exist based on a democratic, value-driven approach, fostering high standards, and transparent partnership to meet global infrastructure and development needs. The idea of digitalization did not begin in 2021 with the strategy. It began much sooner or earlier, especially for the Western Balkans. It began in around 2017 as the next step of the European integration and as part of the Berlin process. So the process aimed to establish new directions for the region in the process of catching up, as well as to identify key areas where cooperation could be enhanced. As part of the DSHIN, the regional economic area, formed by the Western Balkan states, foresaw cooperation in almost 4 areas. And one of them was digitalization. So the digital agenda for the Western Balkans was a joint vision of the 6 countries and was presented as a flagship initiative on the enlargement perspective. So all 6 states pledged their support for the initiative and launched the digital agenda. The digital agenda for the Balkans aims to support the region's transition to a digital economy, highlighting the benefits of digital transformation, including faster economic growth, increased job opportunities, and improved services, of course. So they committed in investment, in broadband connection, because if we have good infrastructure, then we have a good digital infrastructure. Although the Western Balkans investment framework was meant to provide around 30,000 billion of EU funding, which was made available to build good digital infrastructure for the Western Balkans. Then we have the strengthening of the digital economy and the strengthening of digital side of society. So the digital agenda will support the use of e-government, e-procurement, and e-health tools, which I believe in the region are already in the process. Some are better, some are doing okay, but they're improving. So this is done by supporting the participation of representation of the Western Balkans in the European initiative of events. This has also included Startup Europe Summit in Sofia, which enabled regional startups to network with major European brands and have a cooperation. So we have, in so many different areas, we see cooperation in order to improve and see where the weaknesses and where we need more work to be done. Furthermore, digital skills development is also crucial in being implemented through through projects that are also being invested by the European Union in order to improve digital coding skills, digital literacy. We need to have digital trainerships for students and young people. So, and we need the crucial aspect of promoting research and innovation and especially promoting these tools in education. So it needs to be pointed out that the Western Balkans are at different stages of EU integration, especially in the digitalization process. This is, of course, the reality because they all are differently improving in different aspects, even in the other areas like economic improvements, political improvements, and also improvements in the acquis communautaire, which are also the 3 steps or the criteria which need to be implemented by the Western Balkan countries in order to enter the European Union.
Thank you.
So with that understanding, I will finish up. I have a little bit of time more.
Of course, yes.
Okay, thank you. Because there's so much to talk about and so little time. But we need to understand the crucial benefits and we need to understand the lowering also because there are risks in digitalization. So we need to understand that we need to lower the risk factors in especially in education. But each of the Western Balkan countries access education differently. So the Balkan Barometer in 2022 showed that 65% of Western Balkan citizens use the internet mostly as a tool for communication. As of all young people, of course, 38% for educational purposes. Only 15% of them use the internet for paying, for example, bills, and 9% of Western Balkan citizens use e-government services, which are important for documents and the administrational purposes. So, moreover, for around 37% of Western Balkan citizens also misuse personal data. Is for them the biggest concern when using online banking or shopping online compared to the EU countries. And what is crucial is that young people from between 15 and 24 are more secure about using the digital tools than the older people. But we have this category from 15 to 24 where young people use the digital tools and they only need to improve or to be taught how to use them in order to benefit them in all sectors. So the digitalization in society is changing. It's changing our behavior, the way we think and accept our surrounding, and the way we accept how we work on the internet, and not only the internet, how we use the digital tools all in global. But what is crucial is that the young generations lack this education, and they need these tools need to be integrated in the educational system in order for them to improve in this field and to use the maximal abilities of these tools in different sectors, and in that way we will have young generations who can use these tools in order to improve in every sector, and with this step improve the integration process into the European Union. So all in all, I would like to sum up because I have so much to talk about, but I guess I don't have much time. We need a crucial aspect in this is to place digitalization in our educational system. So we have to have professors who are educated first of all in order for them to give these tools and this information and the education to the young generations, maybe even earlier, like other countries that have used the digital tools like AI and all these other softwares that are used and other tools that are used in order for us to to improve the education. If we improve the educational system with digital tools, then the young generations, they will be able to use these tools in all the sectors and have a different perception of the use of digital tools in all sectors, in economy, in politics, in health, as I said, in education, and in all other areas, in order for our societies to improve one step higher and to improve faster, in order for us to be, in a way, accepted and represent the pillar and be part of the pillar that the European Union is aiming towards, as I said in the beginning. If you have any questions, I'm at your disposal, but thank you for listening.
Thank you. You got a big applause from the audience. Please correct me if I said your last name wrong, or I did okay.
It's G, but it's okay. No
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you very much. Next, we would like to hear opening remarks from Ms. Emilia Stoimenova-Duch. Right now, I saw her biggest fan coming into the room, waiting to hear you today. Associate Professor at the University of Ljubljana, former Minister of Digital Transformation in Slovenia, Emilia's work focuses on ethical digital transformation, cross-border cooperation, and preparing youth for Industry 5.0. Emilia, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm really excited to you in person, but it's a privilege for me to spend this morning in your company, and I hope that we will have some time at some other occasion also to meet in person. I wasn't aware that I need to prepare a presentation like Elena did, but I will do my best. I will try to...
Elena overdid today. She did.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Elena, because this is even more than we expected for opening remarks, so don't feel pressure. Elena set the bar high, but we don't have to follow in the opening remarks. We can do it during all of the panel.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Uroš. I'm sure that we will have a great discussion later on, but just maybe what I want for the opening reflections for all of us to remind ourselves how important young people are. You already mentioned that I'm former Minister of Digital Transformation, and to be sincere with all of you, the meetings that stayed in my mind, in my memory, are not the meetings with the diplomats, with the CEOs, or at the parliament, but the meetings with young people. I've met so many young people, starting from primary schools, high schools, also at the universities, and the ideas they had, how they would like to use the technology. These are the things that I would keep in my mind also with my work nowadays. So this is the moment when I understand that the architects of the European digital future are not sitting only in parliaments or in governments, but they're also sitting in the classrooms, in the community centers, or even at conferences, just like you all are today. Elena did a great work. She shared with us what Europe is doing on digital transformation. But the European digital journey is definitely not only about the infrastructures, about satellites, about digital platforms. Most importantly, it is about people. Digital transformation, it's not a technological transformation. Digital transformation is a societal transformation, most of all. When other countries, including Slovenia, when we were digitalizing public services and so on, the first thing we had in mind, it was the needs of the people, how people work, so what are the processes there, and just we were using the technology to make sure that we are meeting these needs. So at the moment now, when the European Union is on a turning point, we have to have in mind not only the technology as such, but also how this technology will shape our societies, our economies, and most importantly, our democracies. The moment we are living now, it is truly important, and the technology, especially digital technology, can shift our worlds in one way or in another. When we're speaking about skills needed for digital transformation, Usually we hear that young people are digitally skilled. I'm very sorry to disappoint you, but what we have seen and what different studies show, many young people are not digitally skilled, and I'm very sorry to share with you that even Slovenia, for example, we're on the very low point if we compare with other European countries. This is because we think that young people are digitally skilled because they know how to use different applications, I don't know, mobile phones and so on and so on. But this is not what digitally skilled people is about. So to have digital skills, it means also to be aware of what is happening with your data, about cybersecurity, about critical thinking, and so on and so on. So the first step, if you want to be digitally skilled, I would definitely go for for critical thinking, for media literacy, information literacy, and this is something that we all need to get, nowadays. What I was spending a lot of time and effort in my career, even before being a minister, because I'm employed at the University of Ljubljana, Faculty of Electrical Engineering, is bridging the digital gaps, rural-urban gaps, gender gaps, age gaps, and so on and so on. And we can see major differences here. Not only when it comes to connectivity is one thing for sure, but also when it comes to the access to technology, to access to digital skills, to funding. So this is something that we need to definitely work on, because I always say that the chain is as strong as the weakest link. And if we don't cover all the areas, so even the weakest one, then we will definitely not be able to use digital transformation in its fullest power. Another thing is definitely the responsible and ethical digital transformation. I'm part of the Women in Ethics in AI at UNESCO, and we can see how much some groups of people, not only women, but also people of color, then also age and so on, and so migrants. There are a lot of migrants here, and we are fully aware of how these technologies can have negative impacts on such groups of people. That's why we are aiming for transparent use of technology, for transparent models, for transparent data collection. So this is something that I would like to make sure that you all have in mind when we are using digital technologies. The most important part of digital transformation is definitely collaboration, not only in our own countries, but cross-border collaboration, European collaboration, and even collaboration on a world level. So now when everybody around the world, we are somehow living in our bubbles and deciding who are our friends and who are our enemies, let's consider that we are on the same world, and that if we want to make sure that we all have a high quality of life, then we will need to collaborate.
Thank you.
I would like to conclude my talk, short opening remarks with a call to action. So I would like to ask you all to be part of this digital transformation or building of the digital future of Europe, because you are the ones who will build this future. So it's not us, even Elena and I, we are not that old, but it will be you. When you're building the digital future, keep in mind to include everyone. Digital transformation needs to be inclusive. It needs to be there for everyone. Think about, for example, if you're introducing new digital services, is it possible that everybody will be able to use digital services? Are there some people, because of the lack of knowledge, of lack of access to technologies, they will be left behind? We don't want anyone to be left behind, because trust me, it's not only good for the ones that are left behind, but it's good for all of us. So why I'm so fond of digital technologies, now we're living in the era of AI and even new technologies emerging. This is quantum technology, and these two technologies, I believe, can change our life completely, our work completely. So nothing that was till now. I always like to think of these technologies like artificial intelligence is the brain, and then quantum computing is the imagination. Just imagine the brain recognizes patterns and it learns from patterns, But then imagination allows us to live into entire new, completely different worlds. So together, they can simulate many different systems in full complexity, and we have been dreaming of something like this in science fiction for so long. So if there are any fans of science fiction, I am a fan of science fiction. Just imagine a Star Trek decoder can diagnose instantly, and then if you have read Asimov, for example, Foundation, in his book, predictive models can guide the fate of different civilizations. And now, what was once in the past just a science fiction, this is where the science is edges the reality, so the fiction is edges the science and the reality. We are living the science fiction in the past. So I hope that we will be able not only to use the technology in the bad ways, but most importantly in the good ways for the good of the humanity. Thank you.
Thank you. If we have fans of science fiction here, please raise your hand. Okay, so it resonates well with this audience. Thank you very much. I didn't address all of your professional successes, neither yours or Elena's, because all of the panelists today, neither will I yours here, because all of the panelists today are people who you can spend the day with talking about everything they achieved in life. So we are very proud to have all four of you. I saw that Elena was nodding with almost everything you said, so I see that two of you are on the same page, targeting youth as the one that needs to deliver more skills in the digital era, even though we think that that youth is the most digital target group among all of the communities. So thank you for the opening remarks. And now we are coming back here with the physically present panelists. Andrea Leovac, left of me, co-founder of Levimax Tivat, associate at the University of Donja Gorica, brings insights from startups, AI. I also wanted to say blockchain, but he told me don't talk about blockchain, so I'm gonna scratch that. And international entrepreneurship with experience in both Europe and Asia. Andrea, welcome.
Thank you, Uroš. Thank you, everybody. So before I start, I just want to say that Nemanja and I, for time management purposes, agreed to just greet you guys and say very short remarks, so we have time on the second part. First of all, I would like to thank you, Uroš, thank the organizers for inviting me. And I have to point out that I'm very glad that we have representatives from the academia, not just because of the pedagogical influence academia has on young people, but also because this part of a young person's life is more and more becoming a gateway to the world, not just Europe. So I am very glad to be here, and I am very glad to discuss because I see in the eyes you guys have a very good spark, especially because I'm probably not older than most of these guys here. So yeah, that's it for me. I would just like to thank you, and we can talk on a different part. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. Thank you for starting a company at 18 years old. With us is also Nemanja Živković, founder and CEO of Funky Marketing, youth activist and civic organizer, recognized by LinkedIn as one of the top marketing voices to follow and listed among the 10 rising stars of the marketing world in 2023. Nemanja has transformed digital activism into practical initiatives, showing how young people can turn challenges into real opportunities, and I think this is not his first time on this stage.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I will also be very brief. I first came here in 2013 as a participant, and then I've been part of the preparatory group, organization, helping with marketing, with all kind of stuff. So it's like my fifth time here on the stage, fifth year and sixth year in Kruševo. It's basically like my third home. And thank you, Biana and Tosha, for inviting me. I'm going to talk from the other side of the academic approach, because like both guest speakers said many great things, but it's kind of going into the direction that I don't like. I dislike. What I mean by that, I like to go outside of it because I was a college dropout. I was studying marketing, but I went into the NGO, into youth activism, working with UNICEF, a lot of other stuff, and got back into being among the best in the world in what I do without the degree. But it doesn't mean that I'm against academic approach. I'm against talking with that approach. Meaning I'm bored. Like usually I'm bored listening to all this stuff, and I hope you are too, which will give me kind of the nudge that you will have within you to change things, right? And I'll be very brief and say just one example.
Thank you.
How do you know how people are making decisions? I'm going to tell you an example just to kind of get you into the mood and how you should be thinking. Like 10 years ago in my hometown, they were basically rebuilding the stadium, and every organization from the city got to organize an event. They didn't give us that right because we were advocating for youth, and government doesn't like those who are loud and activate for the youth rights, so they didn't allow us to do it. I wrote a Facebook post because 10 years ago Facebook was the place to be, right? So I mentioned the mayor, the director of Home of Culture where my father was working. I mentioned a few other people. In 3 minutes, my phone rang, my father called me and said his director called him. The mayor called his director and asked him, what did you write on Facebook? Right? In the meantime, I found out that my father had also time to call my mother to ask him what did Nemanja write on Facebook. I didn't curse, but I mentioned everybody and say the things as they are. So we got to organize the event. And they say, Nemanja, you shouldn't write things like this. We should cooperate. We will work together for a long time. But we wouldn't be organizing an event if I didn't write the post. So I just wanted to tell you that you have the power to change things, but also if you are loud, but also you need to learn how decisions are being made so you know what to say in which moment and actually push things forward. I think those are the things that you as young people need to understand.
Thank you. So we need to work on our rebellious skills also as digital. Loud and obnoxious. Okay, so I know that some of you last night engaged in some cultural activities. And I would like you to be part of this session. Let's do a little raise of hand if this sentence resonates with you. EU integration affects my future more than my local government. So, you raise your hand if you feel like this statement resonates with you. EU integration affects my future more than my local government.
Yeah, they were very weirded out.
Thank you. Will you be joining us for a hot seat, please? Just for 2 minutes.
Red chair.
We want to hear your perspective, of course.
Hello.
Hello.
Of course, the EU decisions do more affected me than my local government because, like, the whole economic situation, the whole ecological situation, get more restrictions from the EU or like more advice from the EU than from the German government or the local German, for example. And we are in the EU, but for example, the whole thing with the environment and the cars, Germany will do nothing to change their cars from fuel to electric motors if there wasn't the EU.
Of course. Thank you. Thank you for your comment. And is there anybody from the audience who maybe has a different point of view who would like to take the hot seat for a comment? Or maybe some of the panelists would like to provide some feedback on this.
I think she has a very good
So, Maybe we have some comments online, or no? Yes, we do.
So, thank you so much. I agree with this because knowing how the legislation in the European Union is being done, just like the colleague from Germany mentioned, it is the same with Slovenia. If there are the policies on a European level, then we need to follow these policies if we are part of the European Union. And many things regarding the green transformation, digital transformation, and so on wouldn't have been done if we didn't have the policies on the European level, and what is also very important, the funds from the European level. So I would definitely agree with the colleague on the hot seat, even though he wasn't in the in the audience.
Yeah, thank you. He wasn't. He was not aware that he's gonna be in the hot seat. This is how we trick them. Thank you for your comment. You can take your seat.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thanks.
you. So, wait. We have another. You wanna have a different? Please join the hot seat. This is very practical if you are in the middle of the line to come. It's a 2-hour session because of this kind of stuff, yeah.
We have time.
We have time. Your
Hi.
name, please.
Yes, I'm Marike from Germany, and I think that might be true for other countries in the EU, but I think, or it might be true for some points in Germany too, but I think there are some things that Germany is stronger with than the EU, so yeah, we restrict our people stronger. So, for example, in the agriculture, they have stronger rules than other countries in the EU. So, yeah, that's a big problem for the farmers because of the competition in selling things. We have more expenses, and yeah, that's one example.
Thank you. Oh, we have a different opinion. Do we have a feedback from the panelists? Yeah, you don't have to rush any. We don't. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. But we will have a few more sentences available for you. Let's see. If this resonates with you, raise your hand. Young people in the Balkans are waiting too much instead of creating change. Tony. No, you're just lazy. You don't want to come up. Okay. Okay. Sorry, what's your name? Do you want to comment in the hot seat? Please, come on.
Come on.
I was thinking of me knowing Tony. It's going to be easier, you know, to use this. Are you sure you don't have Montenegrin blood?
I'm afraid to not repeat the same things as I did yesterday. But just something to why I agreed with that is because do you know what is the national sport of the Western Balkan countries?
Coffee?
I mean, going
Corruption.
in a
Football, which is related
very
to
close, very close. No, it's literally, you know, going in a kafana, start drinking, and then after two draft beers or wine, 2 glasses of wine, they always start complaining. The country is not doing well. Okay, fine. We all know that the country is not doing well. Our countries are not doing well. Then institutions do not serve to the needs of the citizens. Of course, we all know. I mean, that the institutions are not serving to the needs of the citizens. And blah, 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 blah. They go home drunk. They wake up in the morning. They probably are hangover. And they said, you know,
They start the day with rakia?
I did my 2 bits. I said that everything is very bad in our country. And that's it. And that's why I think that we have created this national sport of only complaining and not actually taking initiative about how to solve some of the issues that that we have. And I think this must change. I've repeated yesterday while being here on the other side, I was seated there, that we must undertake initiative as young people, because it's gonna be, the future is gonna be so gloomy if the next generation, our generation, will be apathic and will not care about anything that is happening around us.
Mic drop. Yeah. Nemanja, you wanted to comment?
Yeah, I mean, I agree, except things have changed. I mean, what he said is because I got out of the youth work, and, you know, because it felt like me and other youth workers cared more about the youth rights than the youth themselves, right? We fought more for them than they did for them, so for themselves. So, but things have changed now, and you have a question about that, what's happening in Serbia, so we'll talk from that perspective. But what I wanted to say, it's not that we are inactive. Sure, we are all like, in 2013, the name of my lecture that I did here was collectivism, right? We are all active online, we like and we think that's how we support people, and that's how we change things. We don't. It's just, you know, plastic change that doesn't affect anything. But the thing is, it all starts from our neighborhoods, from our communities. Do we care about the environment? Do we take out the garbage? Do we separate the garbage? Those kind of things. And when that change, it will change. But something needs to happen for that to actually happen, and we'll talk about it later. So,
thank you. Andrea, you have a...
Yeah, just a quick, thank you very much. So I wanted to add a quick remark to this, maybe put some data towards what we're talking about, and kind of defend academia a little bit. No, I'm just joking, but actually we did a couple of researches, I think, within the union, within our university, and actually we found data, at least in Montenegro, and I think it's the same in around the Balkans. If you do research, what do you want to do when you grow up, when you're to high schoolers, I think this was, I think more than 50% said they want to work in the government in Montenegro. So I was the one doing
public institutions, right?
Yeah, public institutions or government companies. So for me, this is a defeat. This would be a defeat, personal defeat to say. But also the second thing, from another research that we did when asking why are you not going into business? Why are you not being an entrepreneur? A lot of them, I think 30% said government, bureaucracy, something tied with complicated procedures. And I completely disagree with this. I think this is whining. Because if you are an entrepreneur, if you are someone who works hard, these things will slow you down, but they will not stop you. You can't tell me that if you have complicated bureaucratic procedures to start a company, of course it will slow you down drastically, but you will go forward with it. So this is kind of the things that we saw with our youth, and I think it's the same in the Balkans, where they are whining. And one thing that I took from Teddy Roosevelt is this quote, not mine: if you are just pointing out to a problem and yelling about the problem and not at least giving a solution or actually trying to solve it, that's called whining. And I think that's the perfect definition for what they're doing.
Now you start a conversation. We have Emilia that wants to comment online.
Yes, I will be short. I don't want to make Nemanja or anybody else bored in the audience. So I don't think that the problem is that young people are not willing to make the change or to be active, but the problem is that society is patronizing young people most of the time. So we always think we know what you need to do. We will tell you how. I don't like that. So in Slovenia we have a great example. It is called Institute 8 of March. We are doing such a change. Just to share two examples. It was 4 years ago. They had a campaign about access to clean water. And we went on a referendum, and now it is written in our constitution, which means in Slovenia there is no hotel that can say this is my private beach. It's public beach. All the access to water is public. And this is written in the Slovenian constitution. It is the same institute, very young people, students, high school students that are supported by other people as well. Now they were collecting 1 million signatures all around Europe about the right to abortion. And it's now in the European Parliament because they want to make sure that this is the right to abortion is on a European level. So, in my opinion, Balkan young people are not passive, but they need the support from the society. The society needs to stop patronizing them, listen to them, and support them in their ideas. So, just I wanted to share this.
Thank you. This is real applause, it's not staged. Nemanja had comment?
Yeah, just want to agree with what Maria and Andrea said. And Maria, that's how you make it personal, right?
Emilia.
That's
Emilia.
Emilia?
Emilia.
Okay, sorry. But anyway, that's what I was trying to do with my comment, to make it personal and to come up with a great discussion. But what Andrea said, it's very much in place. And I want to add one thing. It's about the history, you know. For years, even more, entrepreneurship here wasn't something that was looked as, a good path for somebody, right? Andrea said, work in public institutions, go ahead, have a safe job, but the world has changed. And now we need to catch up. But why we are not catching up that fast? Because we don't have previous experience with people who can share it. Right now, some people are coming back from abroad who have been successful in building companies, entrepreneurs and investors are coming back and giving back to the community, to the young youth, and they are going, I'm going to share some numbers with the startups from Serbia and what is happening, but that was the case. They didn't have anybody to look up to, so they can learn and go through that path. And when you are an entrepreneur, they look at you as a fraud. That was happening for a lot of years here in the Balkans, and we are finally changing it. I mean, you in the 90s, you were building business in a different way because that was the only way that you can actually build a business.
And we have a hot seat comment.
Just a food for thought before finally leaving the hot seat. I believe, for example, in order to have more entrepreneurs, we should see if the country is giving to the citizens, to the people, the conditions for the entrepreneurs and others to flourish. And how this happens. For example, I probably assume that you have someone who is in political science, you have heard about the social contract, about Hobbes or Jean-Jacques Rousseau or Locke. So there is this social contract that we as citizens, we have with the state. It's the same, for example, Anelia, the contract that she has with Youth Alliance. If she doesn't fulfill the contract that she has with Youth Alliance, they will probably...
it's not going to be good.
It's not going to be good for her, right? I'm just trying to make my point. So it's the same, for example, with the state. If the state is not fulfilling something in return to what we give to them, our rights, of course there should be
taxes.
Something. And the food for thought is this. What happens, and I hope that you can give some thoughts on this, what happens when the trust in the institutions is so low? For example, in North Macedonia. Judiciary system, citizens in North Macedonia, only 2% of them believe in the judiciary system. Less than 30% they believe in the prime minister and other institutions. So what happens when the trust of the citizens to the
What happens when you come take a hot seat and take my job?
I'm leaving.
Thank you. No,
thank you.
Thank you.
I was him in 2013.
Yes, you can. Please come to the hot seat. I quit.
I told you it looked perfectly as a plan.
Uroš, nice to meet you. Oh, we have a gentleman here.
Yeah, Hello, guys. Do you hear me? My name is Mohammed Ali, and I'm 17 years old. And I'd like to speak general now. Like for me, I think the world is walking too slowly, and they don't improve the world. Like it feels like I'm waiting and waiting, but nothing happens in the world. For example, I mean, if the world would work together, it would be everything faster, but they don't work together and just they talk and talk and but the rich people who can change going sleep and with the money, with the comfortable home they have, that's it. So they don't do they know they have everything and don't need more and just talking, but actually they could change something, but yeah, that's what I'm hating. It's yeah, the world is too slowly for me. Yeah, for example with the Balkans, for example, yeah, the Russians have so many gas and because they have so much, they need to burn it because yeah, and waste it because nobody wants it. But if they would, if the Russian people would give the gas to other guys, so gas is important, but they just burn it, and many countries need it. So yeah, it's crazy, but
That takes
that's
some guts to say.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I think we heard what you said. I think you wanted. I think a lot of people feel that the world doesn't keep track with how they live, what they want, and etc. That was the point of what you wanted to make, right?
Yeah.
Nemanja, you wanted to add on
I
that?
wanted to ask him, what are you doing from your perspective to make things go forward faster?
They have to work together and don't be so
No,
egoistic.
what do you do personally?
I do nothing.
That
I
also
don't-
takes some guts to say.
Yeah.
I don't have the position, but many people have the opportunity to do it, but don't do it. Yeah, because they already have everything and don't need to change anything. Because of course, they don't care. They have the home, the money. I mean, why should they help us? People who can't change these things. That's my point.
Yeah, I mean, I ask you because it's brave that you are here and 17 years old talking about these topics, coming here on the stage and sharing that. That's also doing something, right?
Yeah.
So
Bravo,
applause.
thank you. Thank you. Okay, so please take the hot seat. 30 minutes later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very practical.
You wanted to take it earlier, but now you got the bravery. That's good.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Sarah, and I just have a quick comment about some things because with some things I definitely agree, but I also disagree on some points. Andrea mentioned the fact that a lot of young people said they wanted to work in public institutions. I think this is a lot deeper than the youth because when you grow up, you hear from your parents, oh, just get a good job at a government, just work somewhere good, have a stability. They don't encourage young people to start something on their own. They're not encouraged to leave their job and try something out. They're going to be like, no, in 10 years, you need to have, 400 BM that you can just work with and live with. It's the standard that they set for us. So not necessarily a problem in youth, but something a lot deeper. But I don't know an era that we lived in where youth has been more vocal, that did a lot more things. There are a lot of young entrepreneurs, and we're also always trying. I'm also a part of the NGO. We try to make our community better with small steps. I try to make new projects. Some of them fail. I don't know an era where we tried more. There's a lot of youth also that are trying to get into the government to make the change. They're also trying to be entrepreneurs. So, and also what Emilia mentioned about digital transformation. To be honest, I worked with a lot of people, and youth is very digitally literate. They know, for example, with the AI, they can tell when something is AI. I know a lot of millennials who can tell, and they're like, oh, this is such a cool thing, and I take a look at it, and I'm like, that's AI. So cybersecurity definitely can be much better, but I didn't have a young person tell me their whole card number via phone, you know?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I've noticed, and I think if we are trying much better, and we are much better than we were before. So I wouldn't say that young people are not doing anything. I mean, we're right here. There's a lot of us here.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who go to these kind of conferences with wish to change things.
Thank you. Oh, no. Thank you. Please applause. Yeah. I'm gonna turn off the hot seat for a little bit. We're gonna go back to discussion. I think what we discussed now is like if the flower doesn't bloom, change the soil. But Andrea was like, if it's not for flowers, put a cactus there. So we had that two types of perspective of how to approach things. No comment.
Okay.
Finally moderating.
And now, I would like to ask Professor Elena. She's online with us, I hope.
Yes, I'm here.
Elena, can you tell us a bit about your journey and how your work at the intersection of law and technology inspires youth to safely navigate digital opportunities in Europe?
At a point in my career, I realized that because I teach diplomacy and political science, and my main focus is the relations between countries. And I realized that maybe digitalization, when it came a few years ago, as a boom, of course, because we have digitalization a long time ago, I thought that we should combine the knowledge that I have with a new perspective. So I looked for a program that I will educate myself even further in order to realize how, for example, artificial intelligence can affect the communication between countries, because diplomacy in the last century and now today is very different with the digital tools and everything. And for example, in my postdoctoral study, we need to realize that we need to take advantage, as Professor Emilia also said, and maybe one of the colleagues from the audience, that we need to take advantage of the digital tools and take this to our advantage and use it in order to prosper in all sectors and segments of life. That is crucial. That's why I said education is crucial for us to improve from young generation until the old one. Because even, as Emilia said, we need to also educate the old generation how to use technologies too. It's not only the young people. Young people will learn, of course, but the old people, it's very difficult for them. So we need to apply the tools to every segment of our society and every sector and everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope I answered the question. If you have anything else, I will.
Yeah. The principle of leaving no one behind, yeah, like Emilia said. Thank you so much. And Emilia, next question would be for you. Could you share your story and explain how you became an advocate for youth shaping digital Europe, especially bridging the urban-rural divide?
Thank you so much for the question. So you can also understand from my name and surname, I was born in Macedonia, in Vinica, which is a very rural and distant place. It was because of digital tools and technology that I learned about this possibility to go and study in Slovenia, and then I stayed here and so on and so on. So why I wanted it is because the digital technologies offer the possibility of same opportunities for everyone, regardless of where you were born or where you were working, living before. So for me, digital technology or internet is access to knowledge and access to information. Something that was not so easy in the past before internet was there in place. Now, regardless, wherever we are, we can attend the courses from the best universities in the world, and we all have the access to information. It depends on us, who are we going to trust, so media literacy and so on, but we have the access to information. Another thing that digital technology enables us is it gives us the possibility to participate in decision making. So even in Europe, we have your say, public consultations, in Slovenia as well, whenever we're doing some new regulation or act, we need to ask the public. So again, because of digital technologies, you are able to express your opinion. And this opinion, it will be heard somewhere, which was not possible earlier. So this is why I'm so enthusiastic about digital technologies and about young people taking part of it, because it gives them the same opportunities, their voices will be heard. So don't want to go into more details, I was very long in the video.
Thank you so much. Okay, where is Anelia? I need her for the next part. Okay, she's ready. Okay. So I wanted to play a little game with all of you. I will see how interested you are into playing this game, so then I will pretend that I didn't want to play it that long if I see that you are not interested. So, which three sectors do you think we could connect in one platform to massively boost youth opportunities? 3 sectors in one platform to boost youth opportunities. What would it be? You got any idea? I didn't want to play this game. Ladies and gentlemen, we will have Anelia Mitrova presenting digital platform DigiPath. Please give us a warm welcome to Anelia.
Okay. Hi. Oops. How? It's better if because I cannot see the platform. Sorry. I hope this is my last time on the stage during the conference, because I was here so many times. We're going to go through one platform that we have been working on in the past 2 years, together with our partners from Western Balkans plus Slovenia and Croatia, or whole Yugoslavia plus Albania. We have been working on one project called DigiPath for Youth Possibilities. And the main goal of the project is to provide and to make a platform that will connect the young people from our region in terms of to keep them, the young people in our region. That's why we created a platform with all partners that is focusing on volunteering, mobilities, studying and employment. Does anyone has been studying in a neighboring country? From the Western Balkans and Slovenia and Croatia. Macedonians in Slovenia. Do you know Macedonians who are studying in Slovenia? Because half of our youth are in Slovenia. That's why I'm asking. Yes, but no one from you. Does anyone went for a summer work in Croatia, maybe?
Or Montenegro?
Or Montenegro? I thought from the audience, but in general, you for sure know young people who have migrated in the regions either for studying or for employment. So Nina behind will scroll down the whole platform. This is the home part. These are some latest news, what we have done within the project. So you're gonna have also a link from the platform, and you can review the platform and give us the comments. Then we're gonna go tab by tab just to see the home. Studying, then is stories. These are personal stories. We still don't have the actual photos of the youth, but we're gonna have them. Working in the region, traveling in the region, and these are the project partners as well. So Nina, let's go to the first part, which is called Get Informed. Where do you find the information when you're searching something in the region? Where? Salto Youth, okay. Others? When you want to know anything about, if you want to go to Erasmus, for example, where do you look for information?
We often have groups like on Viber that are just like purely informative, and there you can see like main posts for Montenegro.
Okay. Contact points of Erasmus.
I mean, Bosnia has a lot of digital platforms that you can use for this. Just like DigiPath, we have Digimon.
Digimon. So you're gonna compare what's the difference and what's the similarities. So when you go to young people in the region, here we have stats. So government and policy support, opportunities, what are the main challenges, civic engagement, mobility, education, youth and unemployment, youth in numbers. Nina, you can open youth in numbers only. I won't go sub-tab by sub-tab. So youth population in all our countries. So as Kimeta yesterday said during our session, Kosovo is the youngest country in our region. And Slovenia is the oldest in terms of youth. So you can go back and we can go maybe to youth unemployment, even though yesterday we talked that it's not so a crucial issue anymore. So the biggest rate of unemployment is in Bosnia, and then Serbia has a very low youth unemployment rate. I don't know how you measure this, Nemanja, but...
no, that's not true.
This is not true, okay?
It's lower, but not that low.
Okay, let's go back. And you can go up. And let's move to go regionally. Studying. You can open the studying. So, in terms of studying, these are the testimonials of young people who were studying, but here you can have, go up a bit, lower a bit. I'm sorry. So for example, here you have International University Scholarship in Bosnia. So if you go to read more, you can find more information inside of this tab about what are the scholarships in Bosnia, and people who are studying there sharing testimonials on what are the conditions, how what you need in terms of studying visa, what paperwork do you need. Because a few years ago we had a volunteer in Youth Alliance who came from Bosnia. She originally came because she got in love and she wanted to come to North Macedonia. However, she came for 1 year, and in terms to get a volunteering visa, even though she's from Bosnia coming to North Macedonia and we are very close, the procedure and the bureaucracy, it's very demanding. And most of the cases, people are just quitting of the idea to go through the region because you need to have visa, a lot of paperwork, then you cannot find information, you cannot find the institution. So it's a mess. And in terms of EU members, it's quite more easy because you can go from Romania to Poland to work without any kind of requirements on documents or procedures. Then key steps to study in the neighboring countries. Here you have, for example, step-by-step guide for international students in North Macedonia. You can open. It's easier for me. The sub-step. Okay. Open any of the countries. Let's go. So here you have universities in Kosovo who are accepting international students. And what are all the requirements if you want to study in Kosovo? If you are from North Macedonia and you want to study in Kosovo. So also the languages and everything. Here you have hyperlinks, so you can visit the universities and you can see what the universities are offering. And this is for each country. So now we're going to move forward to go regionally. We're going to go to working in the region. Okay. No, just go down. So specific regulations for employment of the young people. Then what are the employment procedures for foreigners in each country? What are in-demand skills and profession in different countries? Where to find a job in the region? So you can click or where to find a job in the region, for example. And then there are different links and different guidelines where you can find a job, online job portals, as we all do have in Montenegro, in North Macedonia, so you can search a job in your neighboring countries. Have you ever considered, if you don't find a job in your country, to go, for example, in Serbia, if you're a Macedonian, or if you're a Serbian, to come to North Macedonia? Or you just consider a job opportunity in the Western countries?
So I just recently finished my internship in Albanian Institute for International Studies, which was part of WISE program funded by the German Foreign Office German Office for Foreign Affairs. And I think that we as young people here from the region, we changed the concept of migration. So for us now, there is an opportunity to move somewhere in the region. And before our generation, I think that people would just go to the Western countries. And especially having in mind that today we have many regional organizations, it didn't make much change for me whether I would work from Tirana or from Belgrade, especially having these digital tools and so on and so forth. So since my field is a region and regional cooperation, for me it would be the same, like to go to any Western Balkan 6 to work.
Thank you, Andriana. So yes, also there is the Open Balkan that provides some opportunities as well, but it's still not so much developed. And now we can move to go regionally, not to working but to volunteering. There is a map of volunteering programs. I don't want to take a lot of your times, but okay, it's still empty. Then you can go to traveling. Essentials for traveling in the region. A map of festival, you can open this one. So there are different youth festivals happening in our country. For example, Sunny Hill in Kosovo was this August. It was quite popular, and we brought the world to our region. Or there is Ultra in Croatia, Exit in Serbia, if it remains or not. We'll see. There are a lot of gossips about, but
not next year.
Not
next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
So basically, the aim of the platform is to connect the young people in the region, and also to keep them in the region, because there are a lot of opportunities within our region. So we want the youth to stay. If they don't want to stay in their local city or in their own country, at least they to stay in the region. So thank you very much. Uroš, you should come back. Or you're really planning to quit. Thank you very much. it's a very long and with a lot of information platform. I didn't want it to go so much in details, but just check the platform, and if you have any kind of recommendations, we are quite open to receive them. Thank you.
Thank you, Anelia. That was very interesting and comprehensive. No, thank you. I know about this platform because our organization is a partner. Platform has a lot to offer. I know it doesn't seem like very interesting platform at the beginning, but it's very useful platform. So I think that is more important than being just interesting. Okay, we continue. And now we have a question for Nemanja. Reflecting on student protests and activism in Serbia, what lessons can we draw, and do you think that youth really has the power to change institutions?
Yeah, thanks. It's a good question, and I will first go wide, then I'll go slowly in. First to address Sarah's comment that, you know, about the mindset, about inheritage, about everything, how we do. I think it's not only Balkans. I think it's generally the Europe. When we move into stability and, you know, let's keep it together for a day, then tomorrow is a new day. While in the US, it's like we have this urge to wake up next morning to actually change the world and change something. And it's years and years invested in building that kind of mindset. So it's, you don't see it anywhere in the world, maybe Singapore or, you know, but it's not here in Europe yet. One of the reasons is regulations. Europe is over-regulated, so we don't have the ability to develop startup that fast as the people in the US. They have this marketing, sales mindset, and they have all the funds. So, for example, like the startup in Europe is like 50 employees. At the same stage, startup in the US, it's 150 people in the same stage. So it's totally different beasts because of the environment and funds and every other thing. But if we now move slowly to the Balkans and to Serbia, we all thought that youth are uninterested about the world or anything. You know, they're sticking to their phones, living online, talking their own languages. I don't know, everybody is listening to all kind of music. They don't listen to the lyrics, for example, a lot of stuff. And, you know, to be honest, I was one of those people at one moment. But we were all proved that we are totally wrong. I'm coming from Novi Sad, which is the city that has suffered a lot in the past. And now it's the city that died again almost a year ago on 1st of November when the canopy collapsed on a train station and it killed 16 people. One of them was my dear friend Vasko Sadovski from Macedonia. And we were all going to that train station to go to the Belgrade daily. So it's lucky that only 16 people got killed, if I can say that. But it sparked people to finally say no to the corruption. Right? We were having protests before, but the government made them not relevant because they say everyone can protest and we won't do anything about it. Right? So they don't intervene, people protest, and it lives like that. And when we started protesting about that canopy collapse at the train station, students of the Faculty of Dramatic Art protested in front of their faculty, and someone from the local regime sent cars. They were doing that after that a long time to kind of go through the people protesting on the street, blocking the street, like literally run through the car. And you know, they started hitting students, but the first thing was they send people in black. Now they're everywhere. We don't know if they are police or the military or some paid rightist groups to beat the students, right? And it kind of made the whole country, the whole student society, the whole academia, so I'm not totally against them, right? Just the way they speak sometimes, to stand up, to say we are now blocking the universities until we change things. And they did some of the things, I have it written just not to forget, because I'm somebody who does strategy for work, right? So I analyze how they were doing things, because a lot of people said, especially the older ones, they don't have a strategy, they don't know what they're doing, but they actually knew exactly what they are doing, because there were no like specific names of the students in front of everybody. They say it's plenum. We made decisions on a plenum, we vote, and that's how we go in front. Why? Because that's how the regime cannot target specific people. Because they were trying to get those people and to, you know, give them money or get them to the jail, whatever it is, to make them quiet, right? To make these things go away. And so they did a couple of things. They broke the cult of personality of Vučić, of our dictator. I don't know, he's the president, but he doesn't have by constitution, he doesn't have any rights basically as a president, but he is breaking the constitutions every day. So they broke the cult of personality, showing that no leader is untouchable, and they say you are not relevant. We don't want to talk to you. We want the system to work. We want laws to work. We want somebody responsible for the canopy collapse. We want people who have beaten our colleagues to be in jail. Right? They reclaim the narrative and they refuse to be labeled, you know, as somebody. They try to label them, they say it's a color revolution. They were even trying to ban from the country some students from Croatia, saying that they are foreign spies. You know, all kind of things are happening daily. They ended the monopoly of fear by not being violent. They just stand in silence for 16 minutes on the streets, every day at, you know, around the noon. It happened, it's still happening, but they changed a little bit the things. And they also took the public spaces away, right? The streets, those are not the places where, you know, you can now go and live peacefully until something changes, right? And government is trying to take the story in their own direction. They cannot do it, because what the students did, they didn't only protest in the streets, they say, okay, European Union doesn't care about us. Nobody in the world cares about us, because Vučić delivers for all of them, right? Not to get into specific, but that's how it is. So they say we're gonna ride bikes to Strasbourg to meet the European Union and tell them what's happening. So they did, and they got the voice heard throughout the Europe by doing that. Other group ran to Brussels to do the same. Then they decided, okay, we're gonna take over the social media. So they created specific channels of the plenums of each faculty, and this is where they are the best of, right? Nobody mentioned that you get informed on social media. That, I think that that's not true. So people are following what they are talking about on social media, and they engage a lot of public views over there. But the thing is, those people who vote for Vučić are actually those who are, you know, doesn't have access to the social media, or they follow the mass media. The regime controls the media. So they say we need to do something more. So they walk from from Novi Sad to Belgrade, from Belgrade to Kragujevac on foot, just like we did, you know, in the World Wars when people walk from Belgrade to Albania to run away from the Germans. You know, and it brought a lot of memories, but also connected people. Like older people were meeting them on the streets, giving them food, a lot of things, greeting them like the saviors, right? So it kind of switched the narrative. And, but at one moment they saw, because like Vučić said, it's enough, we're gonna bring the force. So they bring the police, and to people, youngsters without any wish to become violent, they start beating them. Imagine like police, it's a silent protest, and they are bringing the fireworks and shooting with fireworks to the people. Really, that's happening. When you are in Novi Sad and look, it looks like somebody is bombing the city. And, you know, basically, like the guy hates his own people. Right? But the thing is happening, he wants to stay for 2 more years so he get more money out of the expo, which is being prepared. I'm not gonna get into specific what's happening, but from the side of the youth. So they saw that they can come up with the idea and bring an idea to life. So they thought, okay, we can make the system work, and then Vucic will become irrelevant, and we will have new people. We don't care who is the president, we want system to work. Why? Because we don't want to leave the country. 300,000 youth left Serbia in last 10 years. So they say, no, we don't want to go live in another country, we want to stay here. But they realized one thing. That's all that they could do. That's their limits, right? They can now come up with a list of people. They started demanding elections because they saw, okay, system won't work. We need to remove the people who are running the system so we can actually change the system. And now we are in a moment when we need older people, us, to come in and support them and take the narrative further, right? Because the regime is constantly, they are not arresting us, older people, they are arresting only the youth to make a point, right? And because they're just standing in the street, they remain locked up for like a month or more. Even a guy last week they didn't let him go and say farewell to his father. Actually, they let him in the last couple of minutes when he was dug into the ground with handcuffs on his legs, right? Because he just stand on the streets. And those kind of things are happening. So what now needs to happen? We have the young generation which is connected more than any generation that I know. They all know each other because they were on the streets for a year. And I think when this finally ends, we will have a spark of startups, creativity, and all kind of things. I'm finishing in a 2 sentences. Because just want to bring a couple of data, right? 1 in 4 entrepreneurs here in Serbia is under 30. Despite people leaving the country and everything, there are 442 startups employing over 600 people. And the exports of ICT industries are worth 4.3 billions, which goes up 20% every year. So the talent, the creativity, the drive, it's all here. What we need to do, we need institutions to come together to support that, right? We need that part of the ecosystem to do the job. We need EU to recognize what's happening and support it. Because like youth will win. You cannot win against youth because it's just a matter of time, right? Newer generations are coming and they won't be silent. So, but if EU and other institutions support that, it will move forward. Because now we have basically the situation when we don't co-create. We just create against everybody. And I think that's what's happening to the youth everywhere, right? EU and everybody else said you have the support. They have the support if it's inside their agenda. But each country has the youth that think differently. And I think we need to change those kind of things that advocate so we can actually get the systems to work for the right cause. Sorry for taking a little bit more time.
That was quite of emotional roller coaster. Thank you for sharing the story, and thank you for this information at the end about how positive impact young entrepreneurs have on countries' GDP and employment and modern technologies and driving the economy forward. I think this kind of data shows what is the responsibility of youth, actually what youth can bring to the country. I know the data that young entrepreneurs up to 35 years of age who start a company employ 200 more people after 5 years of running a business than anybody who started a business later. So that is why we need young entrepreneurs in our economies. It's not just like some nice syntagma of it's nice to have young entrepreneurs, we need to empower young people. No, it's actually a necessity for the economy of every state to have young people joining the entrepreneurship and creating all of these results for us. So I'm turning to Andrija Leovac now. He's a young lecturer and entrepreneur, and I want to ask, in your opinion, how to motivate students to think globally and embrace opportunities beyond borders of our countries.
Thank you for the great question. But since I do this every day, trying to motivate them to go global, do you want the honest answer or the true answer?
Honest. I think we're past.
Okay. So I think the money is a big deal in this. However, I am not so much older that I can say, oh, these are some young students who are doing this because of some reasons. I can say how I did it. Me personally, I immediately after my bachelor's, I understood, during my bachelor's, I understood I don't want to do employment. I don't want to be employed by anyone. I want to do entrepreneurship, and I want to have self-fulfillment through entrepreneurship. However, I realized quickly that this is not really possible if you stay local. Why? Because the world is becoming a globalized place, and whether you like it or not, that's the reality. So I kind of took a leap of faith and by following my intuition, and this is what I wanted to kind of point out with programs like you presented, DigiPath. Sometimes you don't know what's the correct path. Sometimes you just intuitively need to know this is something that will be good for me and just take the leap. And mostly you will make good decisions. So I took this leap when I went to China, and the main motivation was, of course, the money flows in Asia, 2/3 of the population being in Asia, and I think this is enough to motivate anyone to be a part of such systems. We like to say that you are, in today's world, you are able to travel through time. If you go to Asia, you will be able to see what the future will look like. So to my students, I usually, because a lot of times you have boring talk about GDP, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I like to present two things which will kind of give you the vision of how one of the two most important things about, for example, China work, which will, I think, they amazed me. I hope they will amaze you. First thing is digitalization. China's digitalization is famous, and I can talk about payment system, etc., but I will give a very plastic example. We walked on, every Chinese city has a main pedestrian street, and you rarely see beggars, but we saw one on the pedestrian street. And when you see a beggar in anywhere actually in the world, not just the Balkans, what do they have in front of them? Like a box or something. Last time we were in France, we saw a sign for beer and weed or something like that, something weird. However, in China, beggars have a QR code in front of them, which sounds incredible. First off, where does the beggar get a phone? And second of all, how does he use it, and how that works? So this extreme example shows you how deeply rooted digitalization is in Asia. The second thing is, and since us Montenegrins like to go to Belgrade, I use Belgrade as an example, but I can use Kruševo because it's a similar distance. When we talk about infrastructure, we traveled to Kruševo from Podgorica about 7.5 hours, 8.
But because we ate.
Okay, a lunch included. So it's about 400 kilometers, and to pass that distance in China, you would need approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes with the fast-speed railway. So to put into Macedonian perspective, that's 20 minutes from Skopje to Kruševo. Okay? So these are some of the examples for you to see that this is the actual future. And what I used as a kind of a wake-up call for students is nobody asks you anything. The market does not ask you anything. When Europe, and this is my opinion, when Europe becomes just a cape, like the end of a continent, of Asia, we will realize our position. Nobody will ask you anything. Markets flow where they have better opportunities, where they have better systems, where there's more profits, and nobody will ask you anything. Asia will become the central point of the world, and
it is naive to think that we can live in our own little world where we can talk about regulations in Europe and what's important and how we progress, but it's important for us to see the bigger picture. So this is, I think, the most important thing for anybody to understand. If you're an entrepreneur, nobody is waiting to give you something. You have to follow the markets, follow the money flows, follow the trends in order to be successful. And today, I think Asia is the place to be if you want to succeed. The incentives in terms of infrastructure are there. The incentive in terms of finances are there. I'm finishing.
Paid promotion?
It's not a paid promotion. It's my experience. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, again, nobody will ask you anything. You make your own decisions. The infrastructure is there, and some of the highest quality human resources are there. So again, I will finish with this. It's your choice. You don't have to believe me, but I think if you do, you will. If you do, you will have a very good future. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. I was thinking you're gonna describe digital urinals in China, so I was like, oh, it's good that you used how the beggars get the money there. Okay,
I think
next.
They have a question.
We will leave it for the end because we have a very little time, and I need one brave volunteer from the audience. This is the next part. We're doing a rapid fire round for all of our panelists and for the hot seat. I'm gonna say a few sentences and you respond only with one word. First thing that pops your mind. We want only one word, something simple, something instinctive, something powerful that comes from within. Is there anybody who would like to volunteer to be in the hot seat for this fire round? It's not, yeah, please join us. So it's very simple. I know maybe it sounds a little bit like, but it's very, very, very simple. Are the panelists ready? Emilia,
Yep.
Elena are ready, yes.
Are the
Andrea, Nemanja?
microphones on? Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Microphones on. Okay, so we start. We're gonna do the same order, like Emilia, Elena, Nemanja, Andrea, and the hot seat.
Harris.
What's the name? Sorry.
Harris.
Eres.
Harris. Harris.
Okay.
Harris.
Thank you. Okay, so are we ready? Let's start. First thing, your superpower. Emilia.
Persistence.
Elena.
Persistence also.
I'll double on that and said being able
One
to...
word.
I don't have a word for that. Being able to say what others think.
Kindness.
Consistency.
Okay, thank you. Biggest barrier for youth, Emilia.
Hesitation.
Politics.
Heritage.
Surrounding mentality.
I would say surrounding mentality.
Mentality, thank you. Europe in one word.
Diversity.
Also the rest.
Outdated.
Promised land.
Slow.
But necessary. Outdated but necessary, yeah.
What skill is the most important for youth in today's Europe, Emilia?
Resilience.
Work hard.
Resilience, double on that.
Adaptability.
Discipline.
Discipline. Thank you. What is the first thing you think of when you hear regional cooperation?
Friends.
Future.
At the moment, bullshit.
Peace.
Fake.
Fake or faith?
Fake.
You are kind of...
What opportunity should Europe provide to empower youth today?
Just listening.
Also listening.
Listening plus acting.
Schengen.
Schengen.
Smart, like in people smart.
And what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear future of Balkans?
Stars, živim na Balkanu.
What was the answer?
Stars.
Stars, the music band, Stars.
Ah, okay. Nice.
SARS,
Okay.
da, da, da.
Everything is there.
Less politics.
Less politics.
The circle that never ends, but the bad one, unfortunately.
The past.
The past.
We live in the past, yeah.
More action.
More action. Okay, those are all the questions. Thank you. Thank you for being brave
You're
enough to
welcome.
join us.
Good job.
Big round of the applause. And 2 hours passed just like that. It was so fast, very interesting. And we have wrap-up questions for all of the panelists. Elena, what question would you have wanted me to ask you today, and what message would you give to the youth about Europe and digital opportunities? 2 minutes, please.
Only two. Thank you very much. It is a very interesting question. Maybe for our youth of the Balkans to be a little bit more brave and listen less to the politicians and to the political surrounding and step forward and do actions, because I believe that the politics are turning our societies in a place where nobody wants to be. So that's why I said in few of the questions that you asked, less politicians and more youth, more brilliant ideas, because young people have brilliant ideas and they need to be incorporated. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you very much. Emilia, also, if you could ask yourself one question right now, what would it be, and what would you like every young person here to take away from today?
Something I keep asking myself is why I still like to please other people instead of thinking of myself. Even at almost 40, I'm doing that. I would like to learn how not to. So my message for everybody there, I was listening very carefully to Andrea, and I was happy that I was able to travel and work with many parts of the world. And Andrea, I very much disagree with what you were saying. The things look very nice in Asia from the outside of the world, but not if you're part of that world. Just recently, I was there, and there was a woman I met. She was working at the university, so a good job, public job, but she was not able to survive with her salary, so she needed an extra job. And you're talking about the infrastructure and everything. Yes, there is infrastructure, but also when it comes to the solutions, who owns the data? On what price? So everybody is state-owned. And what Nemanja was mentioning before, what is happening in Serbia now, the state is there, so it's also another kind of dictatorship. And for the young people, when you're going to build your solutions, think about how you would like those solutions to be built. If you're entrepreneurs, on what price you're going to get the revenues. Europe, outdated, old, and so on, over-regulated, maybe, but at least there is some kind of democracy here. It's the most democratic part of the world yet. And if this is the price we're paying, that the things are not forwarding very fast, okay, I'm fine with it. But still there is a democracy here, and I would like to see more of it, much, much more of it. But I would not compare to anything else. So this didn't have to do so much with digital technologies, but when you're building solutions, when you're considering your careers, think about responsible use of what you're doing. So this will be my message for you.
Nemanja. You want?
Okay.
Andrea, what question would you have wanted me to ask you, and what's your key message for young innovators and global thinkers in the room?
I will answer that quickly. I wish you asked me how my involvement in the Union of Young Entrepreneurs impacted my path. One thing that I can say is that if you are, it's not a paid promotion, but if you surround yourself with good people and business mind, entrepreneurial mind people, you amplify your chances of success by 10 times. And if I can say one thing to maybe help you guys, help anyone about their journey, is metaphorically, don't get me wrong, don't listen to your parents, whether it's elders and whatever. My mother had 2 careers for me. She was thinking that I would be good at. One is a parking service attendant, and second is frigo mechanical. So I know it's, of course, take this metaphorically, it's not bad, but it's not anything bad that they think. It's just that the world is a very different place, and that you need to act on yourself. To reply to dear professor, I thank you for the reply. Yes, and we completely agree. However, we have a different view in how maybe we see progress, because when you look at progress, and this is my opinion how young people should look at it, you don't view it what was the situation today. You view what was the situation 20 years ago, and in which direction is it going. If you see China 20 years ago, from both economical and political aspects, it is going in a positive way. Is there any, and we took China, but it's not just China, it's other places as well. So this is how we see progress. We don't look at the current GDP, we look at the average GDP growth in the last 20 years. Because, and I'm sorry, Professor, if I'm being a bit harsh, I think this this is advice for people who are now 20, who will be at the peak of their career in 20 years. And if this development continues, we're going to have a very different picture of the world in 20 years. So again, I'm not promoting anyone. I'm just saying that we need to look at development from a perspective of what it used to look like 20 years ago, and what it looks like now, and where is it heading. So this is kind of my reply towards, maybe we have different opinions, but again, the market and the economy is developing, and we'll see who's right. I'm glad that I sparked a conversation, though. That's
yes, and I think you disagree a lot, but I think Professor likes the way young people are free to speak their mind and eloquently and have this honest conversation. I can see, even though you are not with us physically, I can see by your reactions on the face that you like that you have this kind of discussion. And thank you for being here today, Andrea. Thank you, Professor, for how to say, spike things up a little bit. Thank you. And last but not least, Nemanja. Nemanja, if you could ask yourself one question, what would it be, and what is the one message you want to remember about activism, solidarity, and co-creation?
No, are you sure you want to ask me that now? No, just kidding. Let me first add my 5 cents to what both of them were saying. When I said Europe is outdated, I meant we already lost the war with China. That's how I see it when it comes to technology, when it comes to business, when it comes to all kind of stuff. When it comes to democracy, I think that is one that is outdated. The way democracy is perceived now, the way we treat it in European Union and all around Europe, it's the rightist parties everywhere in Europe, and the world is a huge mess now. So I just want to tell you guys, don't lose the faith in better society. It will happen. And that's the perspective from the professor that I like, and I agree with. You know, we cannot lose the optimism. So what would I ask myself is, what else can I learn from the youth? Because I feel like, as somebody who is 41 years old, I push myself into working more with youth, because they don't have those breaks that we have, that we all mentioned, like inheritage from our parents, from the society, from everybody else. And what would be my message? Two. First one is, keep your inner child alive. That's extremely important, and a lot of people forget that as you get away from it and you started being more serious, you get into the business, you get into the work, get married, kids, whatever it is, if you don't follow it, it becomes less and less vocal, and you lose it. And when you lose it, it's not getting back again. So try to perceive that. And the other thing, give value first, and the money will follow. What I mean by that? I mean, this is what I learned being in an NGO, in youth society, in civil society, is that the war against evil never ends, right? No matter if you're going to fight it through the institutions, through the civil society, or through the business. And with that, you need to learn that, you know, now in civil society organization and whatever, it takes a lot of bureaucracy to actually get to the point where you do something. Right, you write projects usually for the donors, not for your target audience. But when you develop all those skills to actually give value, when you get into the business world, you see that you can sell everything. You don't write for the donors, you sell directly to your target audience. And it becomes your superpower, because you already learn how to tell the right stories and help directly to your target audience. So keep in mind that always give additional value and go the extra step, and that's my message.
One last question for the audience. How did you like our panel today? Okay.
So.
Is it better than the other ones? Okay, thank you, dear panelists. It was an honor to be your moderator today. Thank you, dear audience, for your energy, your questions, and curiosity. Sorry if I didn't have time for all of the questions and all of the comments you had. If somebody else still wanted to be in the hot seat, maybe we will have a chance during the day to talk more. Now go take what you learned here and turn it into action, because the future belongs to those who build it.
Yeah.
Thank you. That would be all.
I mean, we are here, so we can continue the conversation anytime.